Imagine living in a world without hospitals, without algebra, without cameras, without modern universities. Now imagine discovering that many of these foundations were built over 1,000 years ago, during a period known as the Islamic Golden Age. From Baghdad to Cordoba, Muslim scholars preserved ancient knowledge, challenged old ideas, and invented systems that still shape our world today. This is not mythology. This is documented history. What was the Islamic Golden Age? The Islamic Golden Age roughly spans from the 8th to the 14th century, beginning with the Abbasid Caliphate. Baghdad became the intellectual capital of the world. At the center of this revolution was the House of Wisdom, Bait al-Hikmah, a research institution where scholars translated Greek, Persian, and Indian texts into Arabic. According to historians and academic research referenced by institutions like the British Library, this translation movement preserved works of Aristotle, Plato, Hippocrates, and Ptolemy, knowledge that later fueled the European Renaissance. But Muslim scholars didn't just translate. They expanded, they corrected, they innovated. Algebra, the language of modern science. In the 9th century, a mathematician named Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi wrote a book called Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala. From the word al-Jabr, we get the word algebra. Al-Khwarizmi introduced systematic solutions to linear and quadratic equations. His work laid the foundation for modern mathematics. Even the word algorithm comes from the Latin version of his name, Al-Khwarizmi. Without algebra, there would be no engineering, no computer programming, no financial modeling. Modern digital systems are built on mathematical principles that trace back to his work. Hospitals and modern medicine. While Europe struggled with primitive medical practices, cities like Baghdad and Damascus had fully functioning hospitals. These were not simple clinics. They had separate wards, medical licensing exams, training programs, pharmacies. The Persian physician Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, wrote the Canon of Medicine, a medical encyclopedia used in European universities for over 600 years. His systematic approach to diagnosis, contagious diseases, and pharmacology influenced both Islamic and Western medicine. According to historical records cited by medical historians, hospitals during this period treated patients regardless of background, a revolutionary idea at the time. Optics and the birth of the scientific method. One of the most influential scientists of this era was Ibn al-Haytham, or al-Hazan. He challenged the Greek belief that vision worked because eyes emitted rays. Instead, he proved that vision occurs when light reflects off objects and enters the eye. He conducted experiments, controlled experiments, and documented them carefully. Many historians consider him a pioneer of the modern scientific method. His work on optics directly influenced later European scientists like Roger Bacon, and even indirectly impacted Renaissance thinkers. Without his discoveries, modern cameras, lenses, and even microscopes might have developed much later. Geography, maps, and navigation. Muslim scholars made major advances in cartography and navigation. El-Idrisi, working in 12th century Sicily, created one of the most accurate world maps of the medieval period. His geographical encyclopedia was used for centuries. Advanced astronomical instruments like the astrolabe helped sailors navigate oceans. These innovations played a role in shaping global exploration. Universities and education systems. The University of al-Qayrawiyyin in Morocco, founded in 859 CE, is recognized by UNESCO as one of the world's oldest continuously operating educational institutions. Structured degrees, academic certification, and scholarly debate were central features of the Islamic Golden Age. These systems influenced later European university models, preservation that saved civilization. When Europe entered the early Middle Ages, much classical knowledge risked being lost. Through translation efforts in Baghdad and later in Muslim Spain, Greek philosophy and science survived. Centuries later, these works were translated into Latin and entered Europe, helping ignite the Renaissance. Many historians describe this knowledge transfer as one of the most important intellectual bridges in history.
Conclusion: the Islamic Golden Age was not just a religious era, it was a scientific revolution. It proved that knowledge grows when cultures exchange ideas. The foundations of algebra, medicine, optics, navigation, and education were strengthened during this time. History is complex. Civilizations rise and fall, but ideas endure. And some of the ideas shaping your world today were born over 1,000 years ago in Baghdad, Cairo, Cordoba, and beyond. If you value real history, subscribe for more untold stories that shaped our modern world.